Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sandbox. I almost said Saturday. I don't know what day it is. I do know what
I
day it
thought it was
is.
Saturday for a second too.
Wednesday's stream. Sorry for the little misfire on the start of the stream there. I hadn't set the title, but as Tailbar LLC said, the title notification said "Don't miss." And yeah, you don't want to miss this one because if you are participating in the game jam right now, you're gonna want to know some of this stuff because I'm giving away spicy, flaming hot tips that nobody's done before, at least that I know of, until I did them on my personal stream last week, a week ago from today. I made some suggestions during the Sandbox stream last Wednesday, and it stuck in my brain. And so when I went to my personal stream, I was like, I got to keep going. I can't hold these ideas in. So yeah,
You can't fight this feeling anymore.
Yeah, and I successfully got co-op and versus multiplayer working using crowd events, and I am stoked to show you how that works. It wasn't perfect. There was some stuff that we might improve on today's stream, but the fundamentals are there. They're working, and I have a feeling some of our maybe our top winners in the game jam, they might not use this, but I have a feeling some of the contenders are going to use stuff at least similar to this because this is cool and this is fresh, and I'm tooting my own horn as hard as I possibly can because I was so pumped. Like, I've been working in the Sandbox since 2019. I signed up in 2018. I joined in 2019. I tried to enter the Game Maker Fund in 2020. At the end of 2019, they hired me December 2019, January 2020, somewhere in there. And I never got to do my game pitch for the Game Maker Fund because they were just like, start making assets, and which is fine. Like, I love doing the artwork, but I didn't get a chance to start building. My idea was for a multiplayer game, but we didn't have a game engine yet, and so now it's possible. And now I have figured out
the how,
the secret sauce, the picante beans, according to Not
the
Jackie
beanie
Chan.
weenies.
Yes.
So I'm excited because this is the beginning of it all. This is where it starts. This is the co-op.
Time is a flat circle. We're looping right back around to where we started, and now we get to go better. This is Groundhog Year, and we're going back and we're doing it better than last time. All right, so before we get too far, Saturday, Lucas and I had a blast interviewing John Heder, aka Napoleon Dynamite, his business partner Justin Winters, as well as Sanzeus and Lula9, part of the Voxel Ocean team. We had so much fun on Saturday. If you didn't check out, if you weren't there for the live, or if you haven't watched the VOD yet, you should. We just had fun. We were talking to some very funny, interesting people, and learning about how a very large project comes to life. So check that out. Check out the game Tygonia Forever for Infinity on the events page now, and also check out the collection. I am 100%, when this stream is done, if they're not sold out, grabbing a Tygon wizard hat and a hybrid chainsaw, and
I'll take this. I'll take this, and I'll take this.
Yeah, I do. I really want these Summer of '92 pants and the karate gi.
See, I'm torn. I'm torn between the robot Tygon and the alien Tygon. I feel like that should be obvious. But I'm just like, I don't know.
I just want to run around as a karate instructor and do a roundhouse kick to people's heads. Just that's how I do. So anyway,
nobody's gonna want that. Nobody's gonna want that.
But I want to do it. So I'm gonna definitely try to pick these up. Buy them, but don't buy all of them. Leave some for me. And there's other cool assets in here. If you check out these monsters, what was the really good one? The Frogadillo rolls up into a ball, rolls around, and then attacks you with like a tongue attack. It's awesome. Definitely everybody should get a Frogadillo.
Really,
not financial advice
on that one.
Just life advice.
A lot
get
of
get a Frogadillo.
The hybrids, a lot of the hybrids have those added animations on them, and Zeus really put in blood, sweat, and tears into making that happen. I mean, they're just amazing. I mean, the quality on them is, I'm obviously biased, so don't call me out on that too much, but I really appreciated the extra effort and labor of love that he put into those.
They look great. They're beautiful. They're like detailed and interesting and fun. And yeah, grabbing a Froggadillo as well. There's a lot of them, so like buy up as many of those as you can. But again, leave one for me. All right, so just to go over the current game jam. This is why we're having this stream. We're doing the multiplayer parkour game jam. It runs until where's the dates? Oh, I went past them. Important dates. There we go. I scrolled too far, too fast. The deadline to complete and submit your entry is May 7th. So you have more than a week. You have actually way more than a week. You have a week and a half. That is Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after that. Not the 30th, the 7th.
7th.
Yep. So you have until 3 p.m. UTC on May 7th. That's plenty of time because what I'm about to show you on stream now, I made in just 6 hours entirely on stream. You cannot apply with old game jams from before the announcement. Well, you shouldn't. It does say in the rules.
Must be new.
Does it? It used to say in the rules. Did that change?
Just run a search for like keywords like new or.
Nope. Maybe that's not in the rules. Double check with vPire.
Okay.
I think it's always a good idea to start fresh. Yeah, I think that used to be in the rules. I'm not seeing it here now. Oh, wait, here it is. It doesn't say new. It says experience must be created after the start date. Any experiences built for previous game jams cannot be used. And I will note, it is possible for us to check when these files were initiated. Like this data exists on the back end, and we do. Well, I say we. I really mean mostly me. Sometimes it's Conrad. Could be other people on the judging team, but usually it's me. We do actually check that all the assets are owned by, or are free to use, or created by, which I guess is the same as owned, by the account that is submitting for the game jam. So when we do that, we're also able to check stuff like this. So I wouldn't test it because you may put a lot of work into something that might be disqualified if that gets flagged. So I would suggest starting a brand new experience with the new button, which you can't see on my screen because I already loaded up an experience, but you should all know where it is. So anyway, it's a multiplayer parkour jam. Yes, we want to emphasize the multiplayer part because a lot of people have asked us, can the game be multiplayer? And we go, yes, it's in the title. It's the multiplayer parkour game jam.
It's essential.
What if can I make it single player? No, it's the multiplayer parkour game jam. That is multiplayer is the first word in the game jam name. So it does need to be multiplayer. Important to note, you can test multiplayer. There's a multiplayer simulator button here. You can see it right at the top. The banner's kind of covering it, but it's got a green picture of a person icon. And when you click it, it becomes 2 people. And you can kind of see that here. So multiplayer simulator means that the game maker does its best to simulate the conditions of the multiplayer server. So messages and behaviors and stuff that only work in single player are like deactivated. So that way you can kind of debug under the same conditions. Ice Pilot says, can I build a single player multiplayer game jam? No, it's got to be a multiplayer game jam. That's what it's got to be. Also, don't give Lucas an aneurysm over there.
I'm bleeding out of my nose.
Oh,
it's okay.
Oh, actually, like you could.
No, I'm just joking. Just totally joking. He even put it in
that
quotes. He wasn't being serious.
That was so deadpan. I'm not used to Lucas being that. You've been hanging out with the British too much. That was so deadpan. I didn't catch it.
I love my British friends. You never have too much time with
them. Anyway, nosebleeds aside. So toggle this button up here to simulate multiplayer, and then when you go to share it to the gallery, make sure you check mark this social button, which makes sure that it publishes correctly as a multiplayer game. The issues that we were having last week with connecting, it saying a server instance is full, I believe that's been fixed. There was it was not an issue with the game maker, it was an issue with the server, and so there wasn't even an update to the game maker needed for this. They were able to fix it server side, so nice and easy correction there. But yeah, build a parkour game. It does need to be multiplayer. It doesn't have to be co-op. It doesn't have to be versus. But I would say if you enjoy these features, or if you enjoy that kind of gameplay, and this tutorial makes sense to you and you want to run with it, do it. That's why we're doing this stream here. So first I'm going to explain what's going on here.
Please. It's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Why does it make me want to eat cake?
It's got nice candy colors. Yeah, something like that.
You're gonna ruin my diet, Alex.
Well, I am Alex, breaker of diets. That's
That's true. I should have known. I will forgive you. Proceed.
There we go. This is what it's actually supposed to look like. You got to turn on the weather effects.
It's like an even better cake. Yeah. Oh my god.
With sprinkles.
Rainbow magical sprinkles. Oh, that really is beautiful, by the way.
Not Jackie Chan asks, wait, so are platforms working in multiplayer? I'm not sure on that one. We're actually going to test that in a little bit. So the multiplayer aspects of this, we did get to work successfully. The co-op aspect and the versus aspect, we got to work on my previous stream. We did have an issue with the platforms visually moving to the wrong place, but actually moving to the right place. So you can see that this platform is supposed to move down right here. When we started playing the game in multiplayer, we saw that it like teleported. It started here, and then it kind of glitched over here, and then it went way, way, way off over here.
Why?
Like way out. I don't know. And so we're like, oh, that stinks. We can't finish the game if the platform doesn't take us up to the next level. And then I think it was Vox Machina? Is that
Vox
their
Machina?
username? I think that's their username. Forgive me, this was a week ago, and my brain is bad for names.
Forever.
So yeah, I think it was Vox Machina. I think that's their username. I would recognize it if I saw it. I saw them riding the platform, and I'm like, how did you even get there? And it was because they jumped onto where the platform was supposed to go, but we couldn't see it going there. And the weirdest thing is that it visually teleported them out to that space as well. So they jumped on an invisible platform where we couldn't see it, rode it out visually into the place that nobody's supposed to be able to reach, and then they dismounted where it was supposed to drop them off. So the platform was just doing its own weird things. So we were all able to complete the game, and I believe Team Pink beat Team Blue.
And if I'm not mistaken, Team Pink did have Vox Machina on it. I'm looking at your Twitter right now, and I found they retweeted one of your tweets.
Yeah.
Or you retweeted one of theirs, but yeah, it's Vox Machina Studios.
So we were successfully able to complete the game. We were able to successfully complete the game. I don't know that it makes a difference which way I say it. I think both ways make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it didn't look right. Not Jackie Chan said, I actually made it to the top first. Well, I think you were on Team Pink as well, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Not Jackie Chan. We were all on the same team. So
Wait,
it wasn't.
you were on the pink team too, Alex?
So it's supposed to be 2v2. There were like 10 of us in there. I disabled. So I was trying to use the experience lock to make sure only a certain number of players would make it in, and that's one of the things I would like to try to fix today if we have time. But yeah, so the platform worked sort of. It just didn't look right. And one of the QA devs from the Game Maker team was actually there as well. One Box T was checking it out and got the VOD for it. So they will be looking into how to fix it. I love this platform with the chains. This is by this is the Centennial Floating Platform by VoxEdit. I was talking to them about getting it minted because I use it so often, and I would like to mint it and own it. And I've been busy, so I haven't gotten back to them on that. Anyway, it says 2v2, but everyone knows it's 1v3. The start of the game was a bit like herding cats. You always have to say that very carefully, because otherwise it sounds like you're herding cats, but you want to be herding cats.
H-E-R-D. It's a good distinction there. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I've heard some people say it, and I went, "You're doing what to cats?" Why?
That's kind of like my thing with like I refuse to say the phrase. There's a million ways to skin a, and I always say there's a million ways to skin a potato.
There you go.
It sounds a lot less monstrous.
I was gonna guess you were gonna say potato, and then you did. You used a similar phrase earlier this week. I don't remember what it was.
Because I hate potatoes. And they deserve to be skinned.
I mean, I love potatoes, and that's why I would skin them.
That's why we make a good team.
Same end goal, but just different perspective.
Exactly.
All right, so the process in this game. Now I'm not going to be able to do it all because it's single player. Actually, I'm going to share this to the gallery, and we'll have some people jump in. But I'm going to explain how this works first.
Okay.
So players spawn in on the spawn point, obviously, and as soon as the first player spawns in, a crowd event starts saying to grab a play token, pick a team, and get ready. So I could probably make those instructions more clear. There's a lot that we could do to clean up this game and make it work better, but the fundamentals are here. How exactly we make this work is up to you and your game. So we're locked in this space. We can't jump out because there's nothing to jump off of. Although, I might have been able to jump off that token. That token is actually a curio. So when you pick up that token, it plays a sound, which I actually couldn't hear because my volume was turned down all the way. The curio behavior in the Game Maker makes assets that all players see, but when a player picks it up, they only pick it up for themselves, and other players can still go and pick up that token. So even though I picked up that token, if another player joins in, they will also be able to pick up that token. They will still see it there. They will be able to collect it. And this crowd event that you see above my head with the bar means that 4 players need to collect a token. So 4 players need to join and pick up that token in order to start the game. So this is a lobby, if you will. The game will not start until there are 4 players who have collected a token. Once there's 4 players in, these gates will unlock, and I can just change the numbers on this thing. So my logic for crowd event, we're going to change this to a 1. You do have to be careful with... I'm going to move Lucas in a little bit. Oops. So that way...
Watch me slide.
Whee! Whee! Okay. So the total points goal here can actually shift or change as you're editing. So before you publish, before you share, you do need to carefully check that those numbers are right, because people saw me like screaming on stream because I would click through. I had a couple crowd events that used 2 points, a couple crowd events that used 4 points, and inevitably I would click on them and it would say 1 point, and I just started flipping out because I kept on going in a circle like 2, 4, no 1, like it was driving me nuts. So that is a bug. Hopefully that'll get fixed soon, but just double check them. And if you share your experience to the gallery and the points don't seem to be right, I would just go back, set them again, try resharing it. Eventually it'll be right. So I've set this crowd event to 1, and we also need... There's another crowd event here. We'll set this one to 1. So the process, imagine that I'm 4 players. We all connect. We all pick up a token. That sound effect plays. At the end of that sound effect, it adds a point, and the gates open. We are queued. Lucas, Team Blue or Team Pink? Who's going to win?
Team Pink.
Team Pink. All right. So, player 1 gets set. Player 2 gets set. The only way to start the game. So we've started the game, if you will. We're here, but we haven't started the race. Okay, we're out of the lobby. We're in our start positions. We're ready to go. The only way to start the race is for all 4 players to activate these pads within like a 5-second period.
Okay. So if I do it and then the other person's not there and they don't do it, it's like the turning of the keys in all those nuclear war movies.
Exactly.
Like, if it doesn't happen at the exact around the same time, it won't work. It'll delay the whole thing. Can you reset it then? Can you go back and do it again? Okay,
it'll start up as many times as you need it until it goes.
Okay, very cool.
And there's probably ways that this could be messed up and ways that we can fix those getting messed up. But at least, like I said, we're just getting the fundamentals down. Making sure that everything works perfectly is not the goal of this particular stream, although we will work on fixing stuff up. So,
can I ask one question?
Yep.
Is there a delay after the final player readies up, or is it an immediate race once that 4th person hits go?
It's immediate once. So it's a crowd event. So a bar shows up above everybody's head, so everybody can see it, and they can opt in whether they're going to start the race or not. Somebody could be like, somebody could be a butt and go like, I'm not going to participate. And then everybody else could go, okay, bye, and disconnect and rejoin and get a different 4th player. So a lot of this is like, it's playground rules, right? I don't have the tools here to make Call of Duty ranked multiplayer with
yet.
I don't yet have the ability to do, was it skill-based matchmaking? SBM, thing all the players love to hate in Call of Duty. So I don't have these tools to set up a multiplayer queue, if you will. But it's like being on the playground as a kid. You're gonna play tag, no tag backs or freeze tag. You gotta actually stand still when you get frozen. Just don't be a troll, Ice Pilot. Just I'm just poking fun. No hate here. Just being silly.
Alex does hate trolls though, like actual trolls.
Well, no, yeah.
Do not get him started. I'm talking about the things with the gems in the stomachs. Like you will.
I'm a Bergen. I eat them. Right.
That's fair. It's fair.
Yeah,
good reference, by the way.
They're delicious.
Nice.
Yeah. My kids have watched that movie so many times, and therefore I have watched that movie so many times. So anyway, all 4 players need to participate. So a single player, they could trigger this one and then trigger this one. There would be enough time for them to reach both of these. However, they can't force the opposing team to also trigger their side, right? So there wouldn't be enough time to like trigger both of those, drop down, respawn, get over here and trigger both of these.
Gotcha.
So it really requires at least 2 players, preferably 4 players, all cooperating to press these buttons at the same time. Also, there's invisible walls blocking jumping around there. I made sure that nobody can get around those spots.
Nice.
You gotta go to the actual platform. Now I've changed the rules, so we only need 1 point. So we press it. It starts the crowd event. The sound effect ends, which gives the point, and immediately the gates open, and it says "Go Team Pink," and reach both altars. Now, if we drop down and go to the blue side, we'll see that it says, well, actually, it doesn't say it, but it would say "Go Team Blue" over here.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So the crowd events are actually like side based, whether it's side pink or side blue. So technically you could respawn and join the other team. There's ways we could like lock out the respawn area. It gets very complicated to try to do this. Again, it's playground rules. Just like play the game the way it's intended to be played. And
basically the same thing as prison rules.
It's exactly the same thing as prison rules, just
That's the thing. That's applesauce.
Just yeah. If I was on Joe's stream, I would have made another joke there, but I'm not going to do that here.
Okay.
And so
I wonder what it was.
There's a sign. I'll tell you later. There's a sign here that says "Player 2, wait here." So, who's Player 2? How are they going to know? How are they going to know? Well, when we had them pick a side, it says Player 1 and Player 2. So you should just go like, "Oh, I'm Player 2." So Player 2, wait here. How much time I got? Oh, I got plenty. I got time. Player 2, wait here. Player 1 jumps in here. And there's no way for them to jump out. They could slash respawn. However, that's wasting precious time. You don't want to slash respawn. You want to call platform for Player 2. And then where is it? There it is. This platform here moves down to where Player 2 is waiting, and they jump on. And we are gonna we are. Did we show this on stream last time? I know we showed it on my stream. The new chat. The new chat interface for
this
gameplay.
This is the first time seeing it.
It's beautiful. Look at that slide in. It's beautiful.
It's lovely.
And it's got features.
Go on.
So you can select your interface language. So if you want it to be in Japanese or Korean. Now I don't know if that changes. It doesn't seem to change anything here. It might be a channel. So if you were chatting in Korean, maybe you can jump to that channel. I'm not sure exactly
maybe
what that.
It's
that
actually keyboard keys.
Oh, maybe. And then you can switch. There's still the same like metaverse versus local chat, but while you're in single player, you can actually, while you're in the editor, you can actually enter the metaverse chat for multiplayer, and you can shout out to other people playing.
Wait, you can while you're in the editor? You mean game editor?
Yeah,
the game maker.
So when you're in the game maker, right now, I can type into the metaverse chat, "Hello," and we could see if anybody replies. I don't know if anybody's going to reply. I'm going to move myself over. I'm going to slide to the right.
Come on. Get over here. Let's cuddle. There we go.
This is too close. It's highlighting how different the size of our heads are. Because I like leaned back in my seat. All right. So so yeah, you get local chat for your instance, metaverse chat, which goes globally. Yeah, it's so pretty. There's a bunch of settings here.
Very clean.
You can set text size, how quickly messages fade away, how light or dark the background is, how light the messages are during gameplay, whether it shows timestamps or not, and close after send. So after sending a message, it will automatically close the chat, so that way you're not
Nice.
type wazd in the chat.
All that.
Just wondering about the Game Maker. In the asset panel, I can see all my VoxEdit created assets. However, there are 114 pages of other assets. Any free to use in my game? All of those are free to use in your game. If you okay, sorry. Let me be clear.
Mm-hmm.
If you've added a lot of stuff to your wish list on the dashboard, you can try those out in the Game Maker. However, they are not for entering game jams or publishing a game to the map. So when we run the game jams, we check that the assets actually were either created by you, are the free ones that come with the Game Maker, or are ones that you've bought. And we're able to see all that data. So if you take a look at basic assets, there are 29 pages of basic assets. So if you have 114 pages, that probably means you've added a lot of stuff to your wish list, in which case you're going to need to buy those if you want to use them for publishing games. Or you may own a lot of NFTs. If you own stuff, then like I own 35 pages of assets.
Alex has so much stuff in there.
So the owned seems to also include yeah, no, I think it's just NFTs and stuff that I've created. So if you've bought things, or you claimed them, or they were given to you, then they'll show up in here. All right, back to the game. So,
one question.
Sure.
How about we do that giveaway now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, drop it in the chat now. Please continue.
All right, so we have unlocked the gates. Me and the other 3 players have all said that we are ready to start the race. That event opens up the gate, and we say, go Team Pink. Only if they're on this side, it'll say go Team Blue on the other side. Player 2 waits there. Player 1 goes down, calls the platform for player 2. I /respawn. Because I am now player 2. Pretending to be player 2. I ride the platform up to the next section. And I call the platform for player 1. So if I was... Whoops. I didn't mean to drop all the way down. Things that you've won in giveaways are okay to use in game jams? Yes. Yeah, if you own the NFT, you own it. Having an NFT in your wallet for the sandbox gives you the license, and this is defined in the terms of service, I believe. You have the license to use that asset in game creation. That's the point of owning NFTs in the sandbox. When people go, well, what's the utility when they say sandbox assets? That is literally the utility, that there's no sandbox asset that doesn't have utility. If you don't plan on making games, there are assets that don't have utility for you, right? There's even utility for those, because if you're staking, we've done events that are for people who own assets, and like the more assets that they owned, the more like rewards they could get, stuff like that. So
there's also the in-game play as well. So if you're using it as like equipment and you just want to have an advantage, or you just want to, look different while you're playing around with your friends in multiplayer, that's also utility. It's not directly, you're not making your own game with it, but you also could, like, just because the equipment is used by you running around hacking and slashing doesn't mean you can't also put it in your game.
Yeah, there's lots of equipment assets that you can use in any game that you play. There are more assets that are not equipment. There's, characters, which are NPCs and are not to be confused with avatars. There's assets like, I don't know, like this sign, or this moving platform here, that are, if you were just playing games, not as useful for you for utility, except for the case of there being rewards for asset holders. And, there could be other utility added to those in the future. But in general, Sandbox assets, if you are planning on building games, all assets have utility automatically in the fact that you are going to be able to publish your game with those, and you have the license to use them by owning the NFT. So here's where the parkour gets a little more challenging.
Dicey?
Yeah. So we're at the first altar. We are player 1. We activate that altar. It gives us 1 point, fires off a firework into the sky, and we have one of the 2 points that we need. Now, if we were
going to get the other point?
How do you get to the other one?
How are you going to get that other point?
Oh, well, we got to become player 2, and we got to ride this other platform. So if you recall, as player 2, our first act was to activate player 1's platform. So while player 1 was going and doing all of that parkour to get up here, we were going to the next one. And then we watch the fireworks shoot up into the sky, and we win. Completed. And now we have a galaxy trail. Whee! To proudly boast that we are the winners, and we can even go to Blue's side and roast them and be like,
just running in circles around them.
Look how shiny we are.
Where's your shiny? You don't have any? Oh, it's because you lost.
Yeah, sorry, Blue team.
All the shiny?
We are the shiniest.
For me.
We are the shiny ones now.
As long as it's not like Gengar shiny, then it's cool.
The Pokemon?
Yeah.
I don't know what he looks like when shiny.
Shiny Gengar looks just like the regular Gengar. It's like a slightly different shade of purple. Yeah. It was quite a letdown.
All right. So that's how it functions. So how does this work? Let's explain how this works, and then we can try it out in multiplayer. So we got a lot of different logic events going on here. So first thing that happens, players spawn in, and we've got this crowd event called On Your Marks. Actually, that's not the very first thing that happens. I believe this message broadcaster sends out the message to start the crowd event. So I think we have it send only once. It should send only once. Broadcast only once. It does broadcast only once. So when the first player, and these are all of the behaviors in here are multiplayer behaviors. Is there a mechanic that says which side wins, or based on the honor system? So the fact that you have the galaxy trail behind you is the indicator of who won. We could have an asker pop up saying congratulations, team pink won or team blue won. That would actually be very easy to add. And then we could even have a game over after that. It would the problem with doing a game over or a victory is that it would display for all players, I believe. And we might not actually be able to do that in multiplayer in 0.8. So either all 4 players would see victory or all 4 players would see game over, if we tied that to that logic. But I'm happy to have people be able to run around and keep practicing the parkour after completing the game, and it's just that the winning team has the galaxy trail. So anyway, as soon as somebody joins this instance, a message broadcaster only once sends the message event.q, which... Oh, is this why? Is this why this was messed up? Collect.token. Sorry, I think I just figured out a bug that I encountered before.
Really?
Yes, I did. Okay. That's why. We didn't want this play sound in here at all. Ba-doop, it's gone. So this message broadcaster sends event.q, which begins our first crowd event, which is the everybody connecting to the game event. So event.queue goes to this multiplayer crowd event called On Your Marks. Message to start is event.queue. Total goal points is supposed to be 4. We'll change that back. Auto progression is false. We don't want this to happen automatically. We want this to be based on the players joining. And there's no reward VFX. This is just starting up. We've got some instructions in here. It says grab play token, pick team, and get ready. The source type for this, so it's not an emote. It says emote point sources, but we're not using an emote. We're using a message. And we're using the collect.token message in order to complete the 4 points needed. So if you recall, that was collecting this spinning coin. And the duration is 180 seconds or 3 minutes. Now, that collect.token message is sent by picking up this multiplayer curio item, which is a coin. So we have the curio behavior. It displays the name play token, collects 1 each time a player picks it up, and event objective received. Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind, that wasn't a bug. I figured out. I figured out why I did things the way I did them. There was a reason. So the issue that I was having is that if players collected this token too fast, if they like ran right up to it as soon as they joined, it would actually send the message before the event started, which was a problem. I needed the event to start and then have players be able to send the message. So, so this audio that we have here, this play sound, is what actually sends the point to the crowd event. So players connect, message broadcast event.queue starts the On Your Mark crowd event, which is waiting for 4 collect.token messages to happen. The collect.token message happens when players pick up the token. The token sends a message of collect.sfx for sound effects. And the sound effects message, I needed a time delay because, like I said, if players pick this up too fast, if I just put the collect.token message on this, players would be collecting this before the crowd event actually started, which would mean that not enough tokens would be collected. So the collect.soundeffects message goes back to this one and plays a sound. So the play sound component is also on this logic asset. It doesn't really matter where it is. It can be on any number of assets. But the play sound is event objective complete, which is a little bit of a long sound. I think it's about like 5 seconds or so before that sound effect completes, which is enough time for the crowd event to start. And message to send, this is collect.token. That message only sends after the sound effect completes. Ice Pilot, I think we had I don't know if you were there for that. We had a fairly lengthy discussion of why ChatGPT would be difficult to use in this particular case. And it's mostly because a lot of the documentation about this is not finished being written yet. ChatGPT mostly works based on
what's
searching the internet for text written documentation of stuff. And I figured out how to do this on stream last week. It's not a thing that there were any instructions on how to do. Why not spawn the token or make it appear after things are ready? You could do that. That sounds more complicated.
This is just a different way to skin that potato.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you might be using a knife. I'm using a skinner. Somebody might use a cheese grater.
I'm using a hatchet.
there you go. You might bake it and then just let the skin kind of slide off afterwards, like, you know, all sorts of way. Julia uses her teeth. That's, as somebody who has actually eaten raw potato before, it's pretty gross. I was at a summer camp in high school, and there was like a relay race event, and part of it was doing like you had to like pick up a potato with your mouth and do like a three-legged race or something. It was like just all sorts of bizarre things were going on. And I there was like so much adrenaline from just like we're like that I was just like and I like actually like started eating the potato. And I was like, oh no, this was
this that was clearly the action of an angry man.
It's so starchy. It's just like spraying starch into your mouth. It's very, very weird. So anyway, yeah, you could spawn the token later. That's still a delay, right? It's either way, you're doing some sort of delay. The crowd event starts as soon as the game starts. As soon as the first person connects to an instance, that crowd event starts. But the crowd event takes a few seconds before it receives messages. That whole banner has to play first. So you need some sort of delay, whether that is a timer. But I think the way I did it was because I didn't want to set up a timer to spawn an asset, because that's actually more behaviors. By using the sound effect delay, I did it in fewer number of logic assets, although you could probably do it with even less than I have now, by combining components on the same asset. It doesn't, I don't think it really matters in this case. So this sound effect, like I said, lasts about 5 seconds or so, and then it sends the message. Where is it? Curio sends the message up to here. So, yeah, play sound event. So after, sorry, the collect.sfx plays the sound. After the sound finishes playing, then collect.token message is sent, and the crowd event completes after 4 players have collected tokens. Now, I'm going to skip what I was about to say, because nobody else except me would have been able to implement it, because it's a staff-only feature. So we're not even going to worry about it. We're not going to worry about it. We're gonna skip talking about it. Right. So the crowd event completes, and that sends the message. It sends a message somewhere. Where is it? Success message is race.players. That means that there are enough players. Ice Pilot, you are welcome to watch the VOD on my personal channel, twitch.tv/Kamisazi, from last Wednesday night, where I did explain why I was all of the other feature. But it is a 6-hour long stream, so good luck finding what I was talking about.
That's a long stream.
It's a long stream, but I was having fun. I also just couldn't stop until I got this game to work.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So, actually, well, this is the thing that I wasn't going to talk about. The instance locker does not work except for staff accounts. So we're not even gonna use it. We're just gonna delete it, because we don't need it. It won't work unless you're a staff person. And I also have a weather switcher in here that just sets our beautiful lighting. That starts as soon as the game starts. There's nothing more to that. You could definitely change the weather when somebody wins, as part of the, hey, the game's over, the whole scene kind of changes. You could definitely do stuff like that. Let's see. The next thing that starts is event get set. So we did, was it race.players, I believe? Yeah, race.players gets sent when the first on your marks crowd event completes. 4 players have joined. Now, sorry, I got ahead of myself. The gates open. Race.players opens the gates. Okay? And we saw that when I played it earlier. So 4 players have joined. They've collected the tokens. The gates have now opened, and players will start jumping to the left or to the right. Hopefully, like I said, playground rules. You have 2 on each side. You may have 10 on each side. You may have 5 on one side and 1 on the other. Who knows? But the idea is that hopefully 2 players line up on the blue columns and 2 players line up on the pink columns. When any one of the players, these 4 numpads here are identical. There's nothing different between the logic here, except that on the indicator, I have it say player 1 and player 2. But the actual logic of what's going on here is not any different between any of them. So when a player interacts with the panel, it sends the message race.start. And I just realized there might have been a slight bug there. These are supposed to send to all. And not have a range. Oh, no, they do send to all. It's the sound effect that has a range. Okay, never mind. No problem. Getting ahead of myself.
It's okay.
So you interact with the message broadcaster, and it sends the message race.start to all assets. It does not broadcast only once, because if you did that, it would once a player starts, if not all the players interact, then you wouldn't be able to start it again. So you want this to be able to send the message as many times as needed to start. Not Jackie Chan, levers are better than buttons. However, this is a button. Functionally, it doesn't make sense to have it as a lever, because you put down a lever and then it stays in position. It's a switch. This isn't a switch. This is a button. To all 4 players need to press their buttons at the same time. This plays a sound effect, and again, it does it has a delay to go with the crowd event. So we are starting a new crowd event with the message from interacting, and in that same interaction, it plays a sound effect and sends another message at the end of that sound effect, which is the message that the crowd event is looking for. So we press the button, message race.ready starts the crowd event, and that crowd event is looking for the message of sorry. I maybe I haven't had enough caffeine today. You interact and it sends race.start to start the crowd event, and then when the sound effect is done, race.ready sends to the crowd event. So it's all in one. From the player's perspective, it's one interaction from each of the players to start the crowd event and interact with the crowd event to complete it. So you're not like, you don't have any extra buttons going on. So race.start activates this logic down here. Doesn't matter where this is in the map. Get set crowd event starts with race.start. Total points, we're looking for 4. And the emote point source is race.ready. And it waits for 10 seconds. So in that 10 seconds, we can actually probably set that to 15 seconds, give a little bit more time for the players to get ready. But if this fails, if all 4 players don't hit the button in 15 seconds, it's okay. They can just start this crowd event again. They can keep trying this and keep restarting the crowd event until all 4 players are good to go. Once this crowd event completes, which functions just the same way as... ultimately, we're doing the same thing twice in a row. But we're doing it once to get enough players in the queue, and then we're doing it a second time once we've divided the players to sides. once they're divided to sides here, the gates will open up, and we have 2 crowd events that are going. So the gates open up with race.go, which is the success message for our get set event. So players all press their 4 buttons, get set completes, sends race.go, and the gates on both sides open, and they cannot be closed. There's no other way to send that message. And then we've got 2 crowd events, one on each side, one for Team Pink, one for Team Blue. Now, instead of having the crowd event apply to the entire map, we have a large radius on these things. So if we edit logic, we'll actually see a big yellow circle. And this is all of our logic, or all of our race course should be in the sphere represented by this circle. Now, you could, if you wanted a easier way to visualize this space, there's a new speaker component system. I'm not sure the best way to say it. There's a new, the speaker component works a little differently now. There's 2 options for it. So you can edit the logic on the speaker component, and you can change the detection shape. You can either have a sphere, like this, which is the old default, or you can change it to a box. But crowd events only work as a sphere right now. So if we edit the logic on the speaker, and what's the size that we need? How big is this event? This event is, the event range is 29 meters. So if we edit the logic,
is that the biggest speaker, it can go?
No, it can go I think to 100.
Okay.
Yeah, it can go to 100, but we want to limit it to just the blue side and just the pink side. We don't want it to overlap, because that will, it's displaying which side you're playing for. So on the speaker component, we're going to set the detection shape to a sphere and set it to 29 meters. And then we can position it in the same place where the logic for the crowd event is, and that will give us a visual. Like we can look and see, do any of these shapes lie outside of this space? It's just a helpful little, if you're having a hard time like visualizing the radius of the crowd event in 3D space, this can help you. I just did it with math, kind of, and some estimation. And I think I did a little. I think I tested it one time, and I realized if I jumped a certain way, if I like stood too close to the edge of probably this platform right here,
yeah,
I noticed that the crowd event disappeared. It's still active, and once you go back in range, you'll see it again. But I noticed it was disappearing when I jumped on this block, so I upped the radius by like a meter or 2, just to make sure that I would see everything. And obviously, there's like a lot of space in here that I didn't use. I could have used the entirety of this sphere. You could even make it bigger if you were to put the logic all the way to the edge of the map. Then you could make it like 50, or even have it overlap a little bit, and then really take up a whole half of it. Or you could stack them vertically. There's lots of different things that you could do, but the point is, make your crowd event take up only the space that Team Blue or Team Pink is going to be active in, so that way they see that side. Because we don't have a mechanic to actually define teams, is just based on whichever side you're playing on. So if you imagine like a game of volleyball and you decided to just go to the other side, well, now you're on the other team, really, right? Like if you go to the wrong side of the volleyball net and you hit the ball over, you played for that team. It's proximity based teams. So, did that analogy make sense?
It made perfect sense.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying listening to all this, and some of it was kind of going a little over my head. Plus, watching the
this
chat.
Is advanced.
Yeah.
This is uncharted territory.
It's just really exciting hearing you talk about all this, because I know we've all been very, very eagerly awaiting multiplayer co-op modes for a while now.
Mm. So, event blue is what I called this logic block. It's got a crowd event that says "Go Team Blue." So if you are in the sphere of this event, that's what you'll see. You'll either see "Go Team Blue" or "Go Team Pink," depending on which side you're standing on. Total points goal, it's supposed to be 2. Like I said, this total points goal is the one that keeps resetting the numbers. It drives me bonkers.
That wasn't the one you reset so you could do this on your own?
Nope. It wasn't. It just did it on its own just now.
Fair enough.
It's a known bug that's been reported. It's just not fixed in 0.8.2, so it is something you might have to fight with. So the race.go message that opened the gates when we had everybody press the buttons, it also starts both of these crowd events. And this crowd event is looking for the message race.blue, which gets sent when you interact with these altars. So player 1 and player 2 go through playing their parkour map, and when they get to their altars, they interact with them, and it sends the message race.blue, which gives the points to this crowd event. And if you complete the crowd event, you see the message of race.blue win, which will actually cancel the pink's crowd event. So you see that we've got race.pink win as the message to cancel this event, meaning if the other team completes their event, it ends our event. And if we complete our event, it ends their event. So it's
so they can't win after you've won.
Exactly. Yeah. One team getting both of their points first cancels the other one's event.
Nice.
And whoever wins their event, which their event can't be canceled in order to win, whoever completes their event gets the Trail Galaxy VFX applied to their characters.
Yeah, they do.
And that's it. That's the whole process. You could make this way more complicated. Like I said, I made this just in 6 hours on a live stream. And that's the essentials of the process. So the other logic that we have in here, super basic. It's just a message broadcaster. So the player jumps in here. This message broadcaster sends a message to this platform to toggle it on. So it's a basic platform, has its motion defined. Its default is off. Initial behavior state is off. And when you interact with this sign, it turns it on and it starts moving. And then that player will go up here, and then they do the same thing. They interact with that sign and it turns on this one. And then that player can progress. Technically, one person can do it by themselves by respawning. This box here was designed to keep the player that drops in kind of locked in there. But because they can /respawn, they could go back. So if you were playing 2v2 and a player disconnected, the player that's alone on their side could still attempt to win on their own, which would be a source of much shame for the team with 2 players. I've been on that winning side before. I've been on the underdog team winning in a multiplayer game, and it is the best.
I actually had that happen like this morning when I was playing one of my phone games. The other person clearly logged out, and they were just standing there. And it was an underdog match to begin with. And so I was by myself in an underdog match, and I still won. And there was much dancing to be had.
There you go. That's when you really know that you're the best. That's when you unequivocally can say that about yourself. You're like, you know what? Against all odds, I'm better. Deal with it.
Or don't. I don't care. I better.
So yeah, that's the whole process. We queue the players in. They connect. There's a crowd event that waits for 4 players to collect this curio, because a single player cannot collect this 4 times. That opens the gates. Players pick their sides. All 4 players have to interact with these panels in a limited time, which means that they're all at the start line and ready. The game starts. The players on each side have to help each other turn on messages to get things moving as quickly as possible, and then complete their parkour races to get their 2 points and complete their race. You could add more points. You could add 20 more altars and make the score cap 22, and whoever gets the most points would win. There's lots of different ways that you could run this. You could even have you could have a crowd event that you could have a crowd event if the player falls, and there's no death in multiplayer. Like, you do respawn if you hit the bottom, but I don't think it sends a death message. But if you put up a speaker component as a sensor at the bottom of your map, it can sense when a player has fallen, because it'll say like, oh, player passed through here. So you could have a player falling send a message to complete a crowd event, and if the crowd event is completed, it would actually make them lose the game. You could use that as a lives counter in parkour. So if players only have so many chances to beat the game or something, there's all sorts of different ways that you could set it up.
One question for you from Not Jackie Chan over on YouTube. They say, you think there will be a way to disable the ability for players to backslash respawn?
I hope that gets added, and I think we've asked for it. We do like having that option there, because inexperienced builders will oftentimes, and even experienced builders do, like I've had this happen to me in AAA games with like hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. Who knows how many millions of dollars in their budget. 1,000 people working on this game. Stuff like Skyrim. I've gotten stuck, like really, really, really stuck, through just normal gameplay. Just like I was like, oh, hey, cool, there's like a little area over there. I jump into it, and then I'm like, oh, there's no way out. I'm very much stuck and cannot get out of this space at all. Can't quick travel because I'm in a dungeon. I have to open up the console and do no clip, right? And then I become like a flying ghost, which is essentially cheating, and in some games disables achievements. So it's, I've had this happen to me in very real professional games. So it's not even just I don't want to say it's a beginner thing, because it's not. It happens to everybody. So players get hard stuck sometimes, and having the /respawn means that they can unstick themselves. So it is a very nice feature to have for a player, for playability. So I think for a situation like this, there's practically no way to get stuck here, because there's like no walls except for this thing right here.
The fish tank you made.
Yeah. So the worst thing to happen, the worst thing that could happen, is that you're playing 2v2. You jump down in here to activate the platform for your teammate, and they disconnect. And then you're just stuck there with no /respawn. And you just sit there. You just sit in your hole, watching through the glass while
the other team beats you,
while the other team collects all the points and wins. That would be the worst.
That's rude. That would be rude.
So the idea of the fishbowl was that it encourages the player to not respawn, because I had an idea that this could be a penalty box. After the game starts, the doors lock.
Oh, okay.
and when you fall to the bottom and respawn, a timer would eventually unlock the doors. So you'd have
like I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So as a penalty box, it's kind of a cool idea. I was struggling on how to make it fair, and I have some ideas. Because
just a
basically,
couple second delay.
Well, the you would want the doors to lock independently. So like you would respawn, but only your door would open because you can't jump to the wrong side. Like if you jump out the blue door, it would be basically impossible to jump from the blue side and end up on the pink side. So because you all respawn to the same section, I don't want the doors to open at the same time, because if blue player dies and they wait their 10 seconds and they're on the 9th second, and then a pink player dies and respawns,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
either it resets the timer for both of them, which would make the blue player go, "Ah!" or both doors open up at the same time, so the pink player only gets a 1 second respawn timer.
Have a door in the middle.
It doesn't work that you respawn at the same location.
I'm saying like, oh, okay. But when you pick your side, you can't have it so that it changes your respawn location.
That there's no way to change respawns in multiplayer right now.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I was gonna say if you couldn't do that, then you just have a door in the middle, and then you're on the right side of it, and then okay, I see what you're saying.
We did an extensive test session where we determined that it's impossible to change respawns. We did like a whole bunch of different conditions. You cannot change respawns in multiplayer. It might even work in multiplayer, in the multiplayer test simulation, but once you actually push it to a multiplayer server, the respawn location cannot change at all, at least not at this point. So that caused a whole bunch of design headaches. That this respawn was an immovable, unwielding, infinite, immutable anchor in the universe.
Wow, this is getting intense.
That's how it felt, trying to figure out ways around it. We tried a lot of different things to try to get around it. But what you could do is, and kind of like what Ice Pilot's saying with having a timer start when you fall in the pit, if you have a speaker component that covers just your half of the map, you can have the timer set to unlock the door for just your side, so that way they become independently opening, based on respawn time. I'm not sure how that would work if both players died. So if both players fall, I don't know if it would reset the timer or if they'd both be able to go at the same time. It becomes a little complicated, and this is where like the game maker still has advances to make, right?
Yeah, there's ways to go.
And there's more things that we can figure out, and there's ways that you can manipulate the shape of your design to fit the limitations of the system. So it's not perfect. I don't think anybody that I work with on staff was like, oh yeah, we can do like like co-op multiplayer versus. I don't think anybody like said that, and I was just like, wait a minute. I'm looking at the features on these crowd events, and I'm like, I think I have an idea. And yeah, so let's go ahead and share this to the gallery, and maybe
while you're
some
doing
people
that,
can join us.
Can I announce the winner?
Absolutely.
Okay. One moment while I pull it back up. That is very anticlimactic of me.
And the winner is hold on.
The winner is, congratulations goes out to Nigi over on YouTube. You have won Wizzy's enhanced purple hat. Please, my friend, wear it with pride.
There you go. All right. So what I do is I get set for the screenshot position that I like. Get it all lined up with everything, all the panels
looking
minimized.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like that. I like that angle. And then I double check. Total points 4. Total points 4. Total points 4. Total points 2. Oh, I can't see the other one. There you go.
Should I lean?
Points 2.
Help if I leaned?
No, it's I can't see you on the actual game screen. I have to look at a different screen to see you.
Oh, that's right.
4 and oop, that's the flag. 4. Okay, good. All right. I think all of our total points goals are correct. We're going to hit the share button. And I've already got my my description. I saved it to a text document so I can just copy and paste it in. And social and share.
Just a heads up, I've got to leave in a little bit.
Okay. So we're going to see how this works. Saturday, we are going to be playing a game by somebody specific.
Who?
I believe it's the people who did Quests of Triloga. Studio Paraplui. Is that who it is? Off the top
of my head. Which one of their games? Or which game are you planning on playing? Let's say that.
It's a new one that I think just came out this week.
Their stuff is always so beautiful.
What's their experience? It's the Songkran New Year event. It actually came out like a week or two ago, I think, but it's going until May 13th. But they wanted us to play it on stream, so we're going to be doing that on Saturday, as well as giving away some assets from their collection. So be sure to join on Saturday for that. And then we'll probably, let's see, what the event ends on the 7th. So Wednesday. So it'll be the 3rd. So I won't be able to give too many more tips about this before the event closes. You know, it's only 4 days between my next Wednesday stream and when the multiplayer parkour game jam is over. But you know, we can still keep on noodling around with this concept here. I was thinking, I'm guessing these platforms are still going to be bugged when we try this out now, and actually, for some reason, it just kind of decided to not exit. It kind of gave up. We're gonna reopen.
It was like no, thank you.
It was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay right here. I don't feel like doing this.
My blood sugar's a little low. I'm gonna take a nap.
What's with Songkran? Will it be back?
I was actually just looking at the map to see if it was gone.
Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't made aware of this, so I actually don't know.
Events.
You can't join. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get that figured out before Saturday, because that's what we're planning on playing for that day. All right, here we go. It's currently the first game up on the gallery there. Short question, actually, do I have to claim the reward, or is it sent?
It's sent.
You'll have to be more specific.
They're the person who won the purple hat today. Yeah.
Hey, Hoddle's here. All right, so I'm going to grab my token here. I need 2 more players before we can go. So you see how long it took there for the second point to activate. We also got little glitter VFX going on when we collect those things. Two more players, please.
Bottle's just sitting there, patiently waiting.
I mean, I guess we could dance.
I mean, you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
Oh,
and that's what you're trying to do. Trying to leave.
A couple more people just jumped in. Let's go. Jar Jar, Jackie Chan Binks, and Snyder 39. Snyder39 and Jackie Chan, you got to pick up some tokens here. Oh, did we run out of time? I think we ran out of time.
So what do you do when you run out of time?
That's a good question. I don't know. Oh, somebody else collected it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got to exit and restart.
Okay.
So everybody's got to leave that instance. Hoddle got in there too fast. Basically.
Gotcha. Way to go, Hoddle.
I'm gonna unshare this from the gallery to make sure that it's a totally new thing. And I'm gonna extend the join time. So we're gonna edit the project real quick. Get good, everyone else. Hoddle, my game maker decided not to connect. But yes, everybody else got to be ready. Jar Jar and I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the other person.
Snyder.
Jar Jar and Snyder, you guys got to be ready because we're gonna jump in
Pop
fast.
It on in. Pop it on in. You know
So
that saying, if you're not first, you're last. Well, this is not true here, because if you're first, then that makes everyone else last. Wait, no, that doesn't work. You know what I'm trying to get at, though. Just assume I said something smart.
So we're gonna set the duration to 600 seconds or 10 minutes. We're gonna double check those crowd events. Points is supposed to be 2. Points is supposed to be 2. Points is supposed to be 4. And I can't select it. The flag is in the way. Well, actually, so what I can do is I can open up my my hierarchy panel, and I set the names of all of these things to events, so it's actually really easy for me to jump between these. So total points is 2, total points is 4, total points is 4, and total points is 2. We are good to go. Oh, wow. We're going to share, and I have to put these in again. Social share. I probably should have changed the number there, but we're doing it live. How much time you got?
Doing it live.
How much time you got, Lucas?
I got like 3 minutes left.
Ooh, we gotta go. Let's go. All right, you gotta refresh. Okay. If you were already on the drafts gallery, go to page 2, and then go back to page 1, because that will refresh everything. And then hit play. I really should have done 0.4, so that way it was obvious if you were joining the new one or not. But we're doing it live. Actually, I kind of don't mind us being more in the middle here.
I don't either, actually. It's kind of nice having the chat on the side be free and the mechanics on the other side be free.
Hey, there's already 4 of us in here. Awesome. Let's pick up some tokens. We got Jar Jar, Jackie Chan, Binks, Hoddle Hill, Happy 0101, and Elko Zero, I think.
Elk O0.
Something like that.
Or Elko Zero. Yeah, you're right. It's okay. Capital L, capital K. Elko Zero.
Make sure you pick up that token if you didn't already. You got to pick up that token.
Do it now.
Yeah, I got 2 more people got it. There we go. You can hear it. You can hear it when the other people. And see, Pantera, I believe the name is slightly different. Oh, they got one of their new one of those new dance avatars.
Some of those are. That's a cool collection. There's some really cool animations or not animations, styles in that collection that I was not expecting.
That's similar to one that I have.
That samurai one you got is super rad.
I haven't used them yet. I looked at them and all right, there's enough of us in here, but I'm not sure. Did everybody collect a token? Maybe it didn't register. One more person's got to pick up a token. Right over here.
Everybody just run to where Alex is. Alex, go stand where the tokens are. Why is Jackie Chan crawling around?
There we go. Somebody hadn't done it yet because nobody else joined. All right. Team Pink, let's go.
Now, not everybody can be on Team Pink.
Yeah.
Just so we're all on the same page.
All right. Ready? Got to interact with your button. Go, go, go. All right. Go. The race started. That was so much better than we tried it on my live stream before. It took like 10 tries. Oh, they closed the gate. Okay. All right, Hoddle, you got to open that gate up for me. Yeah, so I need to fix that. Currently, it seems you can close the gate. You're not supposed to be able to close the gate.
It's back open again.
Oh, no, Hoddle.
Like, huh? What happened?
Well, okay, now you can see what's happening with the platforms. See, they're going way out there, which is not where we said for them to go. So we're gonna slash respawn, and we're gonna jump through. I gotta make it so that way we can't. Once the event starts, I need to disable the get set because currently people can restart the get set, which can be a little nuts, and we don't want that to have that happen. All right, so once this platform, where'd it go? It disappeared. Okay. Once it gets down there, see, it's going its own way. It's going way out there.
He's doing his own thing.
So once I see it kind of teleport down there, I think is when it's all the way down. So I wait until it teleports and then I jump. Oh, and nope, that was not it. I jumped the wrong way. That was my problem.
It happens. It happens.
So my idea for next Wednesday is we're going to switch these platforms out for doors.
Oh, okay.
And just not have any moving platforms. We'll use doors and ladders. Okay, where's this platform supposed to be connecting to? It's supposed... Oh, it is supposed to be right here. It's supposed to... Because the platform's not working is frustrating. Lucas has got to go.
I got to go. Sorry, man. This is awesome. This is tons of fun. But just so everyone knows, I will be gone for a little while. I'm going to be taking a trip here. The reason I got to go is I got to get to the airport. So I will be missing the next 3 streams, but I will be back soon. I promise.
Have a safe flight.
Thanks, man.
We'll see you when you're back.
See y'all soon. Bye, everyone.
All right. Lucas is going to go join his plane, and we're going to keep on trying to jump on this platform without being able to see where it actually is. It's been done before. We did this on the live last Wednesday night on my personal stream, and I'm trying to remember exactly when it reaches that point. Does it go all the way back up there, or can I? Nope. One of these times we're gonna catch it. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. It's like it's like the Indiana Jones leap of faith. So at some point, it is gonna pop back into the reality where it's supposed to go. Maybe on its way back up. Nope, that wasn't it. It was predictable when we did it before, and I just don't remember at what point in its path did it end up in the right spot. Ah, I did it! I'm on it. There we go. So from my perspective, I kind of bug out, and I go brrr, up. But for everybody else, it looks like this. See? Like, look how far out he went. Oh, no. Oh, no. He rolled right off. So I have now called Platform 1 Control for Hoddle down there. Hoddle, you got to get in the fishbowl. And actually, Hoddle, if you just stand in the middle of those grates, the platform will come down and squish you and lift you right up. Firework 1 has been... Oh, wait. Did we already... We got both already? Hey, we won! Now we get to go brag over to the blue team. We get to go... Look at us. Look at us go. Neener, neener, neener. Well, now, actually, because this can be set again... yeah, go Team Blue. You can actually keep trying for this. Because I didn't fully lock this system out. Or it pushes you through the bottom of the map. That's a possibility, I suppose, although every time I tried it before, it worked just fine. Oh, there they go. Look at them. Whoa! It's funny to see the trail just streak across the whole map when that happens. All right. Does that mean this platform's going now? Hey, here I go. Oh no, I missed the jump. So we're going to try to get Team Blue to win also. So the altars only fire once. So once Team Pink wins, Team Pink cannot get it again. But because we restarted the event, Blue has a second chance. Do you think Burr would work better? Bird speakers to turn. Oh, using a bird to move the player. That could work. The thing is, like, this bug with the platforms, I hadn't seen it before this game. So I don't know if it's happening to other people on other experiences with multiplayer. I don't know if it's because the platforms are moving diagonally, or if it's something weird with the multiplayer synchronization. I have no idea why it's doing it. So I don't know if bird would be any different or not. I haven't tried using birds in multiplayer yet. So you could try birds. I was thinking using just locked doors and ladders would be just as effective. There we go. Yay! Team Blue has won. Oh no! Jar Jar Jackie Chan Binks was not in the area, was not in the zone when the map completed, so they did not get the trail on either side. I have not tried a different asset, although the asset shouldn't make a difference in this case, because the behavior is tied, like, not to the actual mesh of the asset, but to the actual logic. So, I haven't had a chance to try really any other things with this. This is the first time I've had time to open this experience since I made it a week ago. So have not had time to experiment around with whether that weird bug happens with other assets or not. It would definitely be something like you definitely want to test. Like this is a multiplayer parkour game jam, so you want to test it in multiplayer and real multiplayer with other players, not just in the multiplayer simulator. So and spawn a platform doesn't work. Does it not work? I don't know. I haven't tried it. So yeah, like I said, like once I did this, what you see here is all I've experimented with. This is the extent of it. So any further questions on what would work or what wouldn't work are a big I do not know, because I have not tried it yet. But I welcome you to try it out yourselves. Yeah. So that's that. It's kind of like a long-winded explanation. I'm sorry, my words were a little jumbled today. I said some things kind of in the wrong order, but I corrected them all. So, like I said, there's definitely ways that this could be a little tighter, a little cleaner, and definitely not using those platforms that way because it's very confusing. But it is kind of fun to levitate into the sky with my magical trail behind me. But yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. I can't 100% say, but I'm pretty sure this is the first functional example of multiplayer co-op in the sandbox. So there are bound to be some issues. But we'll keep on working on it. We'll keep on figuring out ways to improve this. And I hope that some of you figure out some cool stuff. I am so pumped to judge this game jam. There's going to be so much cool stuff people figure out with 0.8. And there's also going to be so much frustration because I know some of you are going to like put this on hardcore mode and you're going to make the Dark Souls of parkour in the sandbox, and consequences will never be the same. All right. Well, I think with that, we're going to call it a night for now. I'm going to be back on in about 2 hours on my personal stream, twitch.tv/Kamisazi, where I'm going to keep on playing help me, Julia. I don't remember the name of the game. We're going to be playing Visage with Julia, where I don't know. I was really freaked out last time. I got spooked so bad by that jump scare and also by playing that game for like 6 hours straight and until like, I don't know, it was like 3 a.m, that like for a whole like 36 hours after that gameplay, I was still like feeling creeped out, just like skin crawling, like not knowing what to do. I don't know. Maybe it'll won't be so bad tonight. We'll see. All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Is there anybody to raid? It'll mess you up. It was that one jump scare, right? That one that got me. That it got me bad. Like there were other parts. It was creepy in general, right? But that one jump scare, that was rough. Biverson is streaming right now. Let's see about a raid. Let's see what we can do here. I gotta make sure that I can actually see it. Raid Biverson Art. All right. Go have fun with Biverson Art. I'll see you next time. Or later tonight, if you dare. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Starting